Hello and welcome back to another episode of Breaking GFBC. Um, for those of you who don't know, what I do is I just I come on here on Sundays after church and I tell you what I learned in church, what I took away from it. You know, sometimes there's more to it than that, but usually that's pretty much all it is. I take my sermon notes, read that off to you, tell you what I thought about it and how I felt. But today is actually it's a two-part. It's the joy of generous living, part one. It comes from 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 1 through 7, and it's characteristics of generous living. And number one is you can't wait until you think you can afford to give. In other words, don't wait until, oh, I've got extra money now I can give. I can help people now that I've got extra money, because nobody has extra money. You're going to find something to do with that money all the time. Second is giving produces joy, not regret. You think before you're fixing to give, before you're fixing to put something in an offering plate, or before you're going to give somebody $5 to help them, to get them something to eat. Before you give, you think of everything you've got to do with that money. But when you give it to somebody, believe it or not, you never miss it. You never regret it. You always regret not giving, not helping. You don't regret most people don't regret what they've done when they've done it generously. And then number three is begin where you are able. Giving should be planned, giving should be personal, and giving should be proportional. In other words, if you're not a millionaire, you can't give $100,000. If you make $300 a week, you can afford to give $20 or $30 a week. Proper 10% would be 30, but you can afford 20. If you're making $3,000 a week, then you can afford to give 100, 2, 3, 400, or at least you should be able to. 10%, that's what you're supposed to tithe. And, and that's all that he had on this. Like I said, it's a two-part, but here's my opinions on that. I have problems doing it. I'm one of those. I get up there, I can think of every reason not to give. But I also have been there and done properly and given the 10%, and I never had any financial problems like I have now. I know, but it's just so hard sometimes to just reach down in there, and you can think of everything that you can do with that, that money you're fixed to put in that offering plate. You can think of all the stuff you could do with it to keep you from putting it in there, and you just keep not doing it. And I'll tell you, I know if I just let go of it, everything will be better, everything will work itself out. But I just think of everything that I can do with it so I don't do it. And like I said, this was a two-part, so this is, what I take away from it's going to be a little short. But, just come back next week for the rest of it. Hey, I've got to wait for the rest of it, these, multiple part sermons, that's just the way it is. But that it helps because it gives you something to look forward to. It gives you something to be striving for, and you're going to sit there and you're going to read over this, and you're going to be even more prepared next week than you were this week. And like I said, just remember it was 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 1 through 7. And those of you who are new, please subscribe. If you like this video, thumbs it up. If you didn't like it, thumbs it down. I don't care. Give me some comments, good, bad, negative, indifferent. If you need me to pray for you, put that in the comments too. Just put, anything that you think you would like to tell me or anything or ask me to do, just put it in the comments and I'll read them, I'll respond to them, and I'll get back to y'all with all of that. So, y'all just have a blessed week, and I'll see y'all next week, and be praying for y'all.